Meow. Oh shit! Forgot to move my mic. Sorry about this. Anyways, meow. Hello YouTube. We're back with another ShoeOnHead react. This time, is this the average male fantasy? Well, I'm gonna say doubt. Okay, I thought that was a fire truck. But I'm gonna say doubt because let's just jump into this and see what she's got to say.
What do they want?
Ooh.
Money? Status? Fast, expensive cars?
No.
What is the ultimate male fantasy? Is it fame? Fortune? 3 hot chicks at once?
No.
Yeah, brother. No.
No. Is it gonna be that chair out in the middle of the damn wilderness?
According to men on the internet, it's something a little more simple.
Well, let's hear it. Wait, is it this meme thing that got... I remember this post. Huh.
This is literally just a fetish. I fucking hate men so much. Men are can't have things.
You sure about that? Well, actually, never mind.
As I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter.
That's a mistake right there. Because you're basically playing a slot machine on what you're gonna get on that thing. Man. Can we just go back to how it used to be? Oh wait, no we can't because... reasons.
Where I saw this post.
Yeah, I saw that post.
Josie the Tiger and the Fish, a movie about a college student who's assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right?
Well, if you go by your male loneliness epidemic video, I think guys would just like anything at this point in time. Just, like, again, feel useful, wanted, etc. I don't know. I'm a guy too, and I can't really comment on this, so let's just keep going. See how this plays out.
Also just unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets,
oh boy,
usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps.
See?
Thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean shaven? Oh yeah, that reminds me.
I hate all this choice crap already.
Sponsor, Henson Shaving.
No thanks.
You ever just accept that some products are just garbage? Like, for years I thought ripping your tights...
Ma'am, most products in this day and age are made to be disposable garbage. So yes.
On the first wear was just a part of being a human woman. We just accepted that. That's just how it is, sweetie. But that shouldn't be how it is. It's a bad design. And that's why I like Henson Shaving. Because if you've ever used a multi-blade razor, you're probably sick of the irritation, the razor burn, the overpriced blades, and you probably think, that's just the way it is. But it doesn't have to be how it is. Thanks to Henson Shaving. Henson Shaving is on a mission to improve shaving, with no gimmicky subscriptions or more.
Is this the same razors that the Fat Electrician has endorsed before? I don't remember now, because they look very similar.
Moisturizing strips, but with real innovation and a focus on your skin's health. What really sets Henson apart is their engineering, with their Henson AL13 safety razor being manufactured in an aerospace machine shop that built parts for the International Space Station.
I think so, yeah.
Allows the blade to extend just a thousandth of an inch beyond the shave plane, less than the thickness of a human hair. The razor prevents any bouncing or skipping, resulting in an irritation-free shave every time.
I don't know.
The best part, once you invest in a Henson razor, it's a lifetime purchase. The only thing you'll need to replace are the blades, which literally cost only 10 cents each. So once you own the razor, you'll be spending like $3 to $5 on blades, compared to the ongoing cost of buying expensive plastic cartridges. Hence,
I don't know how much the actual razor itself is, but it's just like society really needs to go back to the way things used to be, where stuff was built to last. None of this disposable crap, because it's literally wasteful. We're just wasting resources.
store offers a
'Cause it's greed.
variety of colors and even a titanium version, so you can pick the razor that best fits your style.
I'm assuming it's
If you're
aluminum.
tired of razor burn and overpaying for blades, now is the perfect time to make the switch.
Nah.
Just head over to hensonshaving.com/shoe and add both a Henson razor and
$90 Canadian, eh? Ew. Oh, it is aircrafted a little bit. Okay, called that. But yeah. Blades for life? Okay, no, wait, hold up. Blades for life, $65. I wonder how long for life is. Because a lot of for life, you can't see my hands doing the quotes thing, but a lot of for life stuff is only for like X amount of years. I found that out back when I thought my old RAM was good for life. Well, granted, my RAM outlived the company that sold that, but I found out later on that, hey, by the way, even though this thing says for life, it's not for life kind of thing. It was just like a sales gimmick.
100 blades to your car, and then enter code SHOE at checkout to get the 100 blades for free with your purchase. Your skin, your wallet, and your environment will thank you. Big thanks to Henson Razor for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. You didn't skip the ad, right?
She's got a very, like, well-maintained face. I'm just noticing that now. Like, it's very...
Now, let's get back to the video. Now, I am not
I'm assuming...
connoisseur. In fact, I basically know nothing about anime. I am probably the most tourist of all tourists.
I don't know about that, lady. There are a few people out there who just jump in that bandwagon because they can.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot?
No.
I watched Pokemon and Sailor Moon when I was a kid.
Yes!
2 years ago, I watched Beastars on Netflix.
Oh no.
Best boy. Not a furry, by the way. And
But-
honestly, that's about it for my anime consumption.
You know what? No.
Unless you're counting VTubers. If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime. But because it's gone viral, I watched Josie the Tiger and the Fish, and, well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. I thought it was a really cute, good...
I think that she should watch any animes. This is just my opinion, is to start with the Studio Ghibli movies, because they're not only like got a nice little story to them most of the time, they're also very well animated. Like old school animation, not for the most part anyways. Like there's a clear difference between old school hand drawn and computer drawn stuff now. Like, yeah, you can do some wild stuff with computer stuff. I'm not granted, but there's also like, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but there's also so much detail you can get in hand drawing stuff that is completely mind blowing to see when it's done. Like, I've seen some old animes that have been completely bonkers for the detail that they put into it.
Good story. I cried a little bit, and I completely understood what the tweet meant by calling it the average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands
Because
of
people
angry at this post?
Because people suck.
Let us dilly-dally no longer,
And it's
read
Twitter.
some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we?
Roll
It's
out.
a male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control.
The fuck?
Oh no, they think, oh god, why? Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see
Oh boy.
of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions?
There's always gonna be those people who are downers in the internet. Not even the internet, just if you meet them in real life too. Like, it happens. Like, you can find people who are just... they're not happy. And that's all there is to it. That's all I can really say.
Like, as someone who actually actually watched the movie, Josie is not always happy. And she's absolutely not portrayed as some, like, vulnerable, ooh-woo, sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong. She, like, straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house. She was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media. They actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead. He's already got his shit together, and she learns to live life from him.
Okay, that's actually kind of neat, the fact that it's like complete role reversal compared to how you usually see them in these movies, so nice.
He encourages her to live her dreams, and in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way. And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime?
Yes, Shue, there's a lot of good stuff out there. And then, what can I recommend? I don't know. I really don't know, lady, because there's all kinds of good stuff out there. Some stuff has good stories, some stuff has good action. It's just like, you're gonna have to pick and just go from there. So, that's all I can really say.
His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him.
What the fuck?
Sandwich. Sounds about right. Oh my god, after watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this. The problem is they can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's
I know I say this once in a while, even on Twitter, but sometimes I think Q from Lower Decks' quote is right. And if they tell me now, do you think humanity is worth saving? I think not. And it's just like, you might be onto something sometimes there, sir. You might be onto something.
Completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want.
The hell?
Not to be that guy, I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist? The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird. Average men can't even be nice to a healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think they'll be able to handle a disabled person as their lover? Whoa. Normal? What do you mean by normal? These people are just so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat? Chat? I don't even live. Who's chat? I'm just.
She's watched too many VTubers. It's rubbed off on her.
So I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. No, the fantasy is the woman appreciates his efforts to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled. Your meds, schizo. Guy, what do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are you? Also, the majority of men abuse of disabled people. Are you okay? The majority of men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are men that just wake up, take a shit, get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out. That is the majority of men.
And I'm not even interested in GTA 6. Like, I get up, go to work, come home, watch something on the internet, and then do my thing. That's basically it. Like, what's my fantasy? I don't even have a fantasy anymore. Like, I'm just a work person now. I'm just the everyday Joe who goes to work now. That's basically it. That's my life.
Men commit 95% of all rape.
What
okay?
the shit?
Barging into the romance section of Barnes & Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that coming from? So close, this is fetish content.
What?
Yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025, that might be true.
Well, that's like, for whatever reason, people for the longest time were having the hand-holding of the, as, like, a thing, as dirty. I don't know. I fail to understand the internet, even though I was molded by it. It's now its own creature that I don't understand half the time, so...
Oh, you want a wife and kids? You
Nah.
sick fuck. But this is literally just a perverted fantasy, LGO.
How?
You think it's a perverted fantasy because... How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally seeing a cute montage of a male and female character having fun together, being in love together, and being like, rape! He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these people okay? Stop watching porn. Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf Billionaire. Or whatever the fuck you read. Some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet gooner blush.
About that shoe, I have met some girls that are into some crazy stuff. Mostly, it's mostly comes down to like horror movie killers and stuff, and it's just like, all right, you know what? Not judging. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. Just leave me out of it.
Or so I've been told. This is literally just a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna
Jesus Christ.
There's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been on the internet for 20 years. I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen shit you wouldn't believe.
Oh, lady, I predate those days. I came from the time of dial-up internet when it was a Wild West. Oh my god. And images, you had to wait to load. They didn't just instantly pop up. So it was a gamble every time you clicked on a link for an image. You weren't sure what you were getting back then. Oh boy. I have seen some stuff.
But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before, the billionaire werewolf fantasy. This is just the average male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme. So what is the average male fantasy? The average male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike. It is simply to love and to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a pin in this because we are going to come back to this in a big way, trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist.
The hell?
The average male fantasy is that a woman who isn't fat. The average male fantasy is actually job security.
Okay.
You know what? These guys may have a point here. Men want disabled child wives.
What?
The average male fantasy is a disabled child. More proof that men are pedos. That's a little girl. This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag-maxing. And yes, she may be physically disabled, but aren't all men mentally disabled in their own special way? At least the ones in my audience.
You know what? I can't even counter that, Shoe. I can't even counter that because I am.
They will freely admit this. Maybe she...
Damn it! Damn it! Oh. Oh. Well played. Well played, ma'am. Well played.
Woman is taking advantage of this sensitive young man. Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child. Where are her breasts?
What?
First of all, really weird way to say
What?
that. She looks like a child. Show me her titties. Also, I love how, like, when anime women have huge boobs, it's disgusting, Coomer brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she is a child and you're a child.
Shue, that is a rabbit hole that you are pretty on the nailing on the head with. So, yeah. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again because it happens all the time on Twitter with art and stuff, and it's just like, you know what? I'm just steering clear of this because
Can't fucking win. Also, if they had big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like, adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like, that actually
happens
in real life. Like, adult human women can have small boobs. We love all
Yep.
titties here on the ShoeOnHead channel. All titties is good titties. End of story. Women fantasy. A boyfriend with depth and a loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy. 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler. Also notice how she's literally the shape and size of a child. Yuck. Have you people ever seen a child? No. You're all childless. See, she's not even that short. She's just sitting. See, like when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy. And listen, I know with anime it can get a little weird, right? Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000 years old and this is Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks like a cute woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean? You have all like the Insta baddies, the e-thoughts, the e-girls,
Oh god.
the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes.
No.
I feel like every woman.
Is it bad? I know two of those ones that she mentioned on there. Oh god. I've been on the internet too long. Like I said, I was part of the internet in the early days. I have... boy.
Hot now. Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever.
Shue, to be fair though, you're not using filters like everyone else. You're doing this makeup and all that. Half the people will just do their spiel through like an Instagram filter now or a Snapchat filter and make themselves look pretty, so... At least she's not like digitally AIing herself up kind of thing.
Whatsoever. You should
Sorry.
wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of like the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life like 20 times before you've had like your morning cup of coffee. You shouldn't log in and immediately be one-shotted by 1010s all day, as if that wouldn't make you go insane, as if that wouldn't make you crash out. Like back in the day, you'd probably see like one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you think about her for 40 years until...
Actually, no, I I can't really say nothing because I can like... yeah. Almost everyone now has kind of gone the whole digital way, so yeah. Anything that's online could be technically fake until proven otherwise, so I don't know anymore.
Till the day you die. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be. Every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of acts. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox, no lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. And now women are full of hate and SSRIs. But they're hot. They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever been in his...
I don't know if I would say they're hotter because of, like I said, all the digital enhancements kind of takes away from it all. Like, for me anyways, all the digital enhancements you can do online with photos and stuff now, it's kind of like, meh. When I can look at something that's like an actual photo and that hasn't been digitally enhanced, and it's like, you know what? She looks pretty good. There's no AI here, there's no filters here, and she just looks damn. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been subjected to so much of digital slop being on the internet so long that it's just kind of like, you know what? I dream of a simpler time.
History. Sad. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime.
Sorry.
Today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is
No.
useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak
What?
for a lot of women here when I say our fantasies do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like, honey, just a reminder, you're in your luteal phase, I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they want this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready or their son when he's misbehaving. First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But there are in fact good men out there. I've seen them. Some may be in this very audience. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. This is the
Fair.
audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst. Men are guilty until they prove themselves innocent.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know people were using the Kardashian law system. Fuck.
You know what? I take my opinions back on free speech. I changed my mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave.
I also just have to think of fucking Lucifer from Has-Been. Charlie, I gifted people free will and look what they did with it! Like...
A woman's fantasy is a man who won't whip her, and a man's fantasy is raping a woman. I'm sorry, where is the rape, ma'am? There's how you see it, because you're brainwashed to hate men. So true. I hate how... But in reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, god damn it.
Damn it.
We just want a happy relationship. Is it so much to ask for? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh look, more misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men. This is why 70% of anime is garbage. So, here's the thing that...
There's another thing, though, like, there's a lot of, people who don't... Going down that rabbit hole of anime is also another thing, because there's gonna be people that hate certain animes, that people are gonna say only this anime stuff is good, etc. Like, it's like I said, enjoy what you want to enjoy. If you're not hurting anyone, then just let it happen. Kind of like let it be, not happen. Whatever. I cannot word. My brain is cooked. Like, I wish I had thoughts still in my head.
That misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe, a woman. A woman wrote this story.
I remember something similar. What was it? There was a video game character or something who was like, people were complaining she was over-sexualized or something, and I don't remember. Was it Bayonetta? I don't remember. Anyways, and the long story short was like, she was created by a female, and that's like, everyone was like, oh, well then. It's like, yeah, this stuff happens. More often than I can recall now, because like I said, my brain's a pile of mush now.
And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well. A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to sit here and tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor?
She's got a point.
To rescue you and falling in love with you? Why on earth are so many women so mad at this? Are men now the hopeless romantics? Are men now the ones yearning for a fairy tale romance?
Yes. You know what? Yeah. Given how much the male loneliness epidemic is, on as much as I'm probably part of it, knock on wood. Yeah, most people just want a happy ending too. Like, not that kind of happy ending. We just want to have a happy life. God damn it, I can't word.
Is this why all the Disney remakes are like, she's not gonna be saved by the prince, she's a strong, independent woman? Meanwhile, men still want to be the prince, men still want to be the knight in shining armor. Men are like, I will save you from your monotonous 9-to-5 job. I will give you a house and babies. And women are like, no, I must be an actuarial consultant. Be gone, vile misogynist. Is that what is occurring here? Also, that aside,
that seems accurate.
A gender-swapped version of this story called The Perfect World. It is a manga. Mango?
Manga.
Oh, no. Do not come for me, weebs. Men will still
it's manga, but
wives and partners
I can't pronounce shit.
Find out they're disabled or have a life-threatening condition. You're right, it is a fantasy. Actually, That study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health, but that's not really the point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind and pure soul get it, but these fucking semen demons out here, they don't get it. But not all semen.
I haven't heard the term semen demon since high school. Jeez, that just... Ah, dear.
Demons. The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Ah, thank you, a sane person. Hopefully the replies aren't full of people calling her a pick-me. Pick-me alert, least obvious pick-me. Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me. An incel could have written this. Fuck.
Yep.
Why are so many VTubers either pick-me's or racists? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist NPC line? Because they can. See, the most powerful weapon women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pick-me or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive in female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous.
Well, to a degree, Shue, to a degree. There are... You know what, I ain't gonna touch that. That's taboo. We're not gonna touch that one.
Can say anything they want. They're basically wearing a mask. They're free from the chains of the eternal HR Longhouse. But apparently, online does not save them because they will get doxxed for simply not hitting men. Lovely. Maybe I should save this rant for a different video someday.
Kitsu mentioned.
Men are why we can't have nice things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things. Thank you. So I just realized it was a man saying that. It was a whole ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve this trophy. This is for you, sir. This is for you. I'm not worthy.
It's backwards.
Women jokes. I'm very critical of feminism and propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some shit like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom, a female family member, female friends. Maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place and, like men, can be flawed and deserve criticism like anyone else. But there's something genuinely so cucked about people who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating white people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people. White people are so evil. Being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross. You're not getting into Wakanda, bro. You're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough. But yeah, women were not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy. It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that. But to glorify it? This anime is certainly Marxist propaganda. The movie is about him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams come true. So it is Marxist propaganda to help a disabled person pursue their dreams? Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Every piece of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political brain rot. If you're at the point where you see this, and you're thinking of communism...
Fuck's sakes! Oh, I hate this planet sometimes. Oh. Like, just when you think it can't get, like, more deranged out there or whatever, it's just like... Really? Fuck.
You need to log off. You are unwell. I'm sorry, but when I reproduce, I don't want a high probability of my offspring being mentally or physically retarded. We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded. She's not retarded. She has a spinal injury that's not genetic. Also, what is this LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of having like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all do. All these, like, I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these, I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs on Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina booty cheeks. Fantasy is not being a simp, but okay. Fellas, is it simping to love a woman? Nah, this is not the male fantasy.
Well, according to what you said in the one video, Shoe, it is simping to love a woman, so I don't know anymore. Like, you damned if you do, if you damned if you don't, it feels like now. Like, so it's just like, fuck.
That man is a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for Chad. Fellas, is it beta to love a woman? This is not.
God damn it.
This is some gay shit, to be honest. Fellas, is it gay to love a woman? What no pussy does to a motherfucker. Brother, I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker.
True.
It's far worse. The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was gonna be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something. It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf. There's that heavy box the pretty girl you work with can't quite lift herself. There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife can't quite open. There's that Lego set your little son can't quite put together himself. Or there is this paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean. This is the Princess and the Dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love to give. And they want some kind of excuse or mechanism to show that love. In a world where men expressing themselves is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love reading Wikipedia articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia article about like the world's tallest buildings or like a random battle in...
Guys like random useless knowledge. We don't necessarily will ever use it, but we can pull it out for like this useless fact that we know for no damn reason. Just like, just as a flex, I guess you could say. But we don't need it. But
World War II.
Yeah.
I didn't know if this was autism or what, but apparently it's a man thing. Anyway, yes, men love solving problems. And in a world that makes them feel useless, makes them feel like they have no purpose, men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth.
Frig, I wanna quote fucking Captain Picard down. It's like, I don't even remember what it is, again, the actual quote. But he's like, the most important thing in a person's life is to feel useful. And I would like him to feel useful again. And I think it was from the episode Relics. I could be wrong.
They are desperately looking for a purpose in life. So it is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a clip like this and longing for this. A lot of modern men don't have a chance to prove themselves, to make something of their lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone. They are doing everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results. They're lost. What can they provide? And as I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair is the protector and provider instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden. But towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not because he gets something in return, but because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy in return. Loyalty, duty, virtue, acts of service, big or small. Men live for that shit. And yes, those are stereotypes. Not everyone fits into these boxes, blah, 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 blah. But
true.
For the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship That is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the strong, independent woman they've been sold. They've been told they need to be. The modern woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood-crafted modern woman,
unlike Disney's crashing out as of late anyways.
This woman does need her man. She is not strong and she's not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie, Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Because I can depend on you. I know that if I ever feel frightened, I can just reach out to you.
Men simply want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live. This manifests in a lot of ways, but the most common is having a loving partner and or a family. Something unobtainable to many people nowadays. So yes, literally one of the most normal things ever is becoming a fantasy. Sad. Also, men will deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're...
No, we do. I'll admit it. I have one. I do know, I get a time of the month. It's not the same as a woman's. I do have a clock. That's all I can really say.
You're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife in the morning.
Oh,
and you're
different
not
clock.
going to be able to get it out of your head. And that...
But I don't want kids. So, for me... I can't really deny it. I have had the thoughts in my head once in a while for offspring, but then I also weigh the pros and cons because of my own disabilities of, like, will I pass this on to them? And personally, I don't think it's fair for me to pass that on to someone else. So that's my logic.
That is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating 9-to-5 job, it will all be for something bigger and more important than yourself one day. You will come home to a warm and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love you, and rely on you, and everything will make sense then. Until then, you'll just be on the internet, being called a misogynist, for wanting something bigger and more important than yourself, for wanting something beautiful and normal. And that is the average male fantasy. That and 3 hot chicks at once. Hell yeah, brother! Haha, you know what I'm saying? So that was that little video. Men in the comments, let me know. Am I correct? Is that the average male fantasy? Or is it not that deep? Men and women in the comments, what is your fantasy? And no, I don't mean that. You want to be crushed by a 12-foot futa. Not you and God. Not you and ShoeOnHead. I mean, what is your ultimate dream? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want a nice big family one day? Do you want to own a farm? Do you want to live in a shed in the woods and make pipe bombs? And I will see you soon with a new video.
What would be my dream is, I just want to be, I don't even know what my dream is anymore, like, I'm so set in the mindset of doing my job day in and day out, so it's kind of hard for me to actually consider that, like, I just function. Anyways, original will be down below, so be sure to like the original, and we'll see you whenever. Sorry for this took so long. My scattercat brain here is cooked, and yeah. Bye.